Hey guys, welcome back. This is Joy Garage. I'm Davis and this is Tristan. Today, we're going to be building a custom 3-inch exhaust for Tristan's Turbo 3800 Camaro here. We built this thing and it basically just has a side dump exhaust. We did put a really tiny muffler and a resonator on it, but it kicks out right there and it's way too loud. It's cool for YouTube, but he's driving it to work every day.
Yeah, because the Bonneville's down at the moment. You know, I mean, I think it would be cool, you know, for a weekend warrior car to be that loud, but it freaking shakes the car and I'm driving it daily. I need to put earplugs in.
Really?
To listen to my music, you know, because I was using a Bluetooth speaker. It's not great. It's annoying in the morning. And so this should help. In fact, I'm really hoping that the noise level isn't too deafened, but it's at least out the back and away from me. Because it being right under the cabin, it not only
bounces off,
it just resonates in the cabin, which makes it way worse.
We have the kick down pointed out and also down, so the exhaust is basically hitting the ground under him as he's driving.
Yep.
And the sound will reverb and bounce up and hit him. But we have the eBay special $100 same, or well, not even stainless. This is mild steel.
Yep.
Kind of sucks. It can't. I mean, it's good for packaging, but it came covered in oil. We'll have to clean that when we go to weld it, if we're gonna weld most of it. I mean, we have clamps that we're gonna try using first.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna try and do as little welding as possible. Davis would prefer.
Yep. And then he got a thrush welded muffler, so these things are pretty loud and supposedly sound pretty good on these 3800s, as well as a same brand. He got this resonator. It's a 16-inch resonator and the quad 4.5-inch tip. So we'll see how that looks on there.
Yeah, I believe the tip and the resonator are both universal exhaust. Which now eBay I don't think is allowed to sell these all of a sudden. So,
oh really?
Yeah, because now they're doing the EPA stuff, so now you can't buy exhaust off of eBay now.
That really
So
sucks.
I literally bought this the last week possible, I think.
That's crazy.
Which is so dumb. This muffler is like 5 or 6 inches bigger than the one that we have on the car, I believe.
Yeah.
And then also, this is like the welded, which is like right in the middle, apparently, of their loudness.
Yeah, the turbo's a bit louder, and then there's one that's a bit louder, and then behind that is the touring or something. I don't remember what it's called.
Good.
So yeah, it'll be loud. You know, we have a turbo on this thing. You don't really want to restrict it, but this isn't necessarily just a straight race car. If it were, we would just do a hood exit or a bumper exit. We're gonna go for the whole exhaust system here.
And this thing is freaking big, man.
Yep. Put your whole fist in that thing.
Hey, I can. This should sound way better.
I'm interested to see how it sounds, because with no muffler, no resonator, this thing sounds like a hot rod with the cam it has, like that YouTube short I posted. You can hear how crazy it is. I'll just put a clip of it here. We will also fire it up so you can hear it on its current exhaust. You can also go back and check out some of our other videos if you want to, some sound clips of it. But it is just way too loud. It's cool for YouTube, like I said, but realistically you want it quieter. And also, when we take this to the track at PIR, I'm sure it's going to be too loud because they have 103 decibel limit, and this thing's pretty loud. So
if you want a cold start, you guys will have to look at our previous videos because this has already been warmed up. But it sounds crazy when it's cold too.
Yep.
Very lopey.
Also, from the last video, you saw that we thought we fried the PCM. Literally, when I had to take Tristan home, he had his holiday party and stuff, and it was late to it and everything. I came back, I just put the jump box on the battery and tried, and it actually was able to read the PCM, and we're able to load back the tune. So we're able to avoid having to swap the PCMs. But thank you all for, going down in the comments and offering your PCMs or your advice, because that was very helpful. So we have options now for the future, but it is all safe here.
Yeah, I was super freaking excited that Davis reached out to me like an hour later that it was good.
Yeah, I wanted to do it for the video, but it was too dark. I basically called him, put it on speakerphone, then fired up the car, so that's the first thing he heard. Yeah, because Tristan was about to kill himself.
Yeah, I was so sad. Because that meant like both my cars were dead.
Yeah. No way to get to work.
Yep. So that would suck, man. So we just opened up the hood today. I haven't looked at the engine in a couple days, at least like 4 or 5 days, and there's a lot more rust than we remember.
Yeah. The things that came with the turbo kit we bought, we did heavily modify the whole turbo kit as you saw, but the things that originally came with it, like the manifolds and then this collector, they're all rusting.
Yep, they're all rusting. The actual turbo is rusting, areas where it wasn't. It definitely is common because it's just mild steel. But
yeah,
even
you can
like
see the collectors down there are rusted, and then the actual manifold parts here. Yeah, you can see the strap I made a little rusty.
Yep. Even the manifold bolts, you know, some of the bolts on the intake, parts of the engine through the paint, the engine mount, which that's just mild steel. But so like a bunch of things are rapidly rusting, which I mean I did not expect to happen.
I guess just a lot of heat in the engine bay and the turbo kit. So
yeah, if you guys know why this stuff would rapidly start oxidizing, let us know. I think it's the heat too.
Yeah.
Because what else would it be? But it's kind of weird. In 1 week, this stuff is rusting quite heavily.
Yep.
Hopefully, it doesn't ruin the paint entirely, because like every single bolt that's going into the engine is rusting around it.
Oh, one thing we never even included in any of these videos is Tristan was driving home from work one day, did a U-turn, and then this happened to the power steering line. Got a big old hole in it and it exploded. So it covered the engine bay in power steering fluid, which really sucks because it was totally clean before this.
Yeah, it literally just went, and then went on everything on this side was completely drenched in power steering fluid. It like the car was freaking smoking heavily because it was on the exhaust.
And as you guys know, the power steering fluid we were using ATF, and that stuff's flammable.
Yeah, so that's not good at all. Like yeah. I thought that there might be a fire at first, and I pulled it over on the highway. Yikes. And I was luckily able to get it home, and then I got it here and we fixed it without damaging the power steering, so it's fine now. But we replaced it with a line identical to it, so we're gonna be replacing that.
I didn't look too heavily into it. I did go on Google and see about, you know, like there are kits that you can get to convert this to AN, and I got those fittings. And LS forums, all they were saying was fine, but I looked at the actual rating of normal rubber AN hose, and it is like 1,000 or 500 operating pressure, 500 psi operating pressure, and then like bursts of 1,500 psi. And power steering systems can get up to 1,500 psi, so it's just a perfect combination of things. Fluid was probably hot. You're, you know, full crank of the wheel.
Yep, I didn't even like I didn't expect that to be a problem, so I wasn't like nice to it. I went full freaking, you know, wheel lock with force, like I've done with, you know, any other vehicle that I've done a U-turn with, and well, that freaking destroyed that line. Yeah, and,
so it's got the spare on there, which is working just fine. I mean, he's been getting to work, but I did buy this right over here. I got some actual PTFE AN line, which is rated for operating PSI of 3,000 and burst of like 15,000. So it's like, wow. or 10,000 or something. It'll never break that. So I don't know if we'll do that today, but we're gonna swap it to PTFE.
Yeah, as long as I'm gentle with it, it should be fine until we're ready to change it.
I mean, realistically, it went months because we got this running in September, September, and it blew up in December. So yeah, 3 months.
I mean, it only blew up a couple of weeks after I started driving it, but ever since then, it's lasted a couple of weeks now. Because if I have to go full wheel, like I really baby it. You know, I barely put it. Yep. So it's been fine. So if we don't have enough time today, that will be okay.
Yeah, but we do have to get started on this, guys. Tristan's going to fire it up. He actually forgot the clamps, so he's going to run home and grab them back up into the garage here, but we're going to fire it up so you can actually hear the exhaust. And although it's been running, it's not going to be an exact cold start, but it's actually been sitting for a little bit, so maybe it'll be a little bit cold. We'll see. All right, guys, let's hear this thing. Alright guys, we got the Camaro up on 4 jack stands here, all secured. We have the axle up in place where it would be, so when we're going for the exhaust, you know, setup, it's going to be where it's going to be. We were originally thinking about having the thrush muffler right here and then having the tip come out that way, but there's less room over there, as well as there's battery cables under there. So what our new plan is we have 245s, which will go right up there. This leads right over the axle and down. And then we're gonna have the bullet muffler resonator right there in the tip, right in this perfectly convenient area. So we're kind of just brainstorming right now.
Yep, spitballing ideas of where shit's gonna go. Yeah. I don't know the effects of the resonator after a muffler will actually sound like, but that might be
kind of our only option.
It might be a good, or unless we replace that resonator where the current resonator is.
I mean, Vince's system, the muffler, or like the bullet style resonator, or after the muffler. I guess he doesn't have a muffler, but they're at the tips. They're at the tip, so
okay.
I mean, if you want to
Same
grab,
with Isaiah's too.
if you want to grab the thrush muffler, we can kind of see where we might be able to put it, because we could still come out through it here and then 90 into it. That's it. Flip it the other way. No, the other way. Yeah, that way. And then flip it upside down.
What do you mean upside down?
Upside down. Yeah, like that. So could come up somewhere like right there, but it would be kind of close because the pipe's coming out right
90,
here.
which would,
Yeah.
and 90s are not great for airflow.
And then also right over there, we'd have to 90 again.
90 again.
And it is right next to some battery cables, but that is an option.
Also underneath the gas tank, but that'll be fun since this heat shield's here.
It's lower than I was, or that's smaller than I was expecting under there, so that actually is also a possibility. If you want the resonator up there, and then
we could look at replacing the current muffler in its spot with this one.
Ideally, we would just get rid of those ones. Those that resonator and that muffler, we're probably just gonna ditch.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying like we can maybe replace that muffler with this one if the area allows.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, because I think the resonator would fit better under here, but we could also do that.
In fact, let's go check. In fact, I don't think that this muffler is very much bigger than the current one. I think the current one's, like 15 inches completely, and this one's like 20.
I think it's like 13 in total, and that's 20.
13 in total? Damn, I thought it was the internal chamber was 13.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, here's the down pipe. Goes right into a small 6-inch resonator. But this would be coming up right here, and you have to flip it because that's the outlet. Which I don't even think it would work with how this pipe is centered. Oh, no, that'd work.
No, I think that could perfectly, like, if the resonator and muffler go bye-bye, I think
let's
that could
take this off and check, because that'll give us a lot more info.
That would be honestly pretty great if that could work like that.
Yeah, but that we could also, like I said, put the res here and then the muffler back there. We just have to figure out what would work best for us, you know? But what we're gonna do is take off the old exhaust first, and then we're gonna kind of mock up everything. And like I said, everything is slip jointed and clamped, so hopefully minimal welding. I mean, welding's cool and fun, and I'd like to, you know, practice some welding today, but overall it's, you know, a bit more time consuming, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this, take off the stock muffler that we put on, and we're gonna kind of brainstorm here. Yeah, I don't know if we even mentioned this, but Tristan was driving home from work, or he's going to work one day, and the muffler fell off.
Yeah, my coworker, me and him were carpooling to save on gas, and he's a big boy. You know, I had carpooled with him a couple days prior, so I don't know what was different. I get to his house, he sits down, and I go to pull away, and it's freaking, god damn, it was like the worst scraping I've ever heard in my life.
I thought the car exploded.
And I thought something
I'd probably
happened.
leave that on, just pull it off. Yeah, I'll just try, oh, we have the,
okay, good. I was wondering if the exhaust was hot still.
You have the hanger still on there, but that's fine.
Yeah, I do.
You should be able to pull it off with that on.
And, well, I stopped and looked at the muffler was just hanging from its hanger only. And we, you know, we were almost late to work trying to get it. That thing was actually on there. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Oh, there's that 6-inch res and the muffler. I mean, it was a nice design, but it's really loud.
It's very loud.
So I can get.
Honestly, it would be worth it to keep for
spare, just in case something happens.
Yeah, in fact, the Fiero could use that.
Yeah. Yeah, guys.
And the
I'm a
sauce that we have
prospective Fiero owner here. I'm in the talks with somebody to check out a Fiero next week. Hopefully, I mean, he has to find the title first, but can have a Fiero on the channel.
Talked about trying to buy a Fiero for a long time as a project, because I think it would be very cool.
Yep, might get one of these Turbo 3800 motors.
I think I'm just gonna undo the hanger bolts completely.
Here, wait. I have a tool for this. Yeah. All right, guys. Here's the specialty tool. I don't know if it has a part number on it. I'll include it somewhere. But this is the best thing ever for getting exhaust hangers off. We can just go show you real quick. He's gonna go pop that one off.
So teach me. Oh, like this?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, Jesus. This car, even though it's jacked up so high, it's still so low.
Yeah, get that right on the nub and then just squeeze it. Just get some pressure on it. You don't need to line it up perfectly. Yep. There you go.
Dude, that thing... This thing is pretty cool.
Yep, there you go. Popped out.
Dude, that thing's awesome.
Yeah, took like 2 seconds, and these things usually take freaking forever.
Let me tell you, it was the hardest thing ever to get that out of there with just my hands when it fell off.
Yep. So I picked out this muffler, and this was actually the closest I can find to the thrush welded muffler that Tristan picked out. It's the same design, same chamber. It's just this has 2 of them and this has 1.
Double.
Yeah. So it'll be way quieter, but it'll still be loud, but not that much quieter. All right, guys, we're back. We've just been playing with some ideas. We're definitely going to use the resonator right here on the midsection. And then from here, we have plenty of room to what we'd ideally do is use a 45, which we're going to have to cut up a 90 because we want to actually keep these 45s for in the back.
To get over the axle.
But imagine it'll come up here. Kind of hard to do with one hand on camera, but yeah. We'll 45 off this. It'll kind of get us up closer here to where we can go straight down. The camera angle sucks. Basically, we'll use that 45 to kind of kick it up over here, then straight, and then all the way down. And then once we're back here, we'll use a 45 like this, which will kick up over the axle, and then it'll meet another 45, which will bring it down. From there, we're gonna have to get a little creative with the muffler back there, but
yeah, because I mean, when we did put this muffler down there, with the downpipe how it is right now, it just doesn't fit. It hits against the car. Yeah. Otherwise, had the inlet and outlet been flipped, it would have worked.
Checking online, I thought that this was going to be the inlet, which would have worked, and then we actually could have placed it like this. Would have made it more advantageous to where it was placement wise, but this is actually the outlet. This is a one-directional muffler, so.
Which I'm sure that they have that design, but we didn't really know. It would have worked actually really well had it been flipped like that, but since it's not, so
we could have made this work, or we can, but it would require us to completely change up the downpipe and kick it farther towards the center of the car, so it'd meet up to the inlet, which is off center.
And again, we really don't
touch this otherwise.
We don't really want to, you know, modify this and weld this. We want to do...
Yeah, we'd have to take out the whole downpipe and do a bunch of crazy stuff.
So, I mean, yeah, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to put this here and then build off of what we need instead of modify what we already have.
Yeah, let's try to get this on as far back as we can, and then let's actually get it down with the...
I think that is...
Might be able to go a little bit farther. But then let's get the clamp on, then we can start working on moseying our way back. All right, guys, we forgot about the most critical part. Anytime you're doing an exhaust setup, you gotta fire it up with the exhaust off.
Yeah, you guys haven't heard it for a good while.
It's gonna blow my eardrums off, I think.
It's got the resonator on. It'll be quiet.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The resonator totally will make it, you know, not like nothing.
Do you think the resonator is directional?
I did look in there, and they kind of look the same either way.
Anything indicating it like the muffler has.
Yeah, I did look, and it looked the same to me either way.
Well, don't get too close.
All right.
Don't want to burst your eardrums.
Yeah. It's actually quieter than I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be way louder than that.
Same. The first day we fired it up with nothing on it, it was so loud.
That resonator must be doing something.
It's doing a really good job. It actually made it even sound like deeper.
It did.
Just with that on it.
That was actually really surprising because, yeah, like he said, with open header, like that shit was so loud.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get on the chop saw over there and cut up a 180 or 90. I don't know if we want to keep the 90s or 180s. I think the 180s are going to be the ones we chop first.
Yeah, because I can't imagine we're going to need it.
Yeah, so got this all set up. Got the Diablo blade.
In fact, we should probably cut up like maybe both of them.
Yeah, we'll cut them up as needed. So, all right, guys, we're gonna get cutting here.
All right, so we're in the middle, fabbing the exhaust. We got the resonator on, and well, we're trying to get it to where we'll go straight back. And well, you know what? We had some clearance issues.
But now,
so you know what?
Hammer.
So we had a crackhead come out here and knock this thing. Well, you can't see anything. You can't see this, but I'll show you once this is off next. But yeah, we got a crackhead to just bang it out with a hammer. And actually, this sheet metal is quite nice.
This is just a floor pan, so it's really weak.
Yeah, it's quite nice to mold to what you need. Oh damn, my ass is getting wet. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. We had just this slip joint that we weren't going to use, but it actually fit quite nicely on this, and we actually tacked it up, and terminate it into a 45.
Rotate it even more if we need to for a bit more ground clearance. But
yeah, so it's actually turning out pretty well.
Now all we have to do is get that straight slip joint on, cut it to length, get the 45 up over the axle, another 45 down, and then kind of the harder part, figuring out the muffler and the exhaust hanger situation. But well, that's for a future us. So
all right, guys, we'll update you again.
Yep.
Next chance we get. Well, there you go. Now you can see where we paid the crackhead to hit it in, and like I said, it's actually quite nice. It gave us all the room we needed, so we didn't have to do any modification of the actual pipe. So I feel like that's a win.
Yep.
Because that saved us at least 20 minutes, guys. At least 20.
Probably more than that.
Probably more than that, he says. So I'm into it. So now we're gonna go cut that pipe again and get it to where it actually needs, and then we'll be able to get the straight pipe on there, and well, that will be honestly like half the exhaust done right there. So well, we'll come back.
Good progress. It's a little tedious, but yeah.
Very tedious, but yeah, we'll get there.
Guys, we are back and we made some really good progress. Yep. We're just chugging along here. It's a tedious process like we've explained multiple times, but as you can see, we have from the bullet resonator kind of 45 up, and then at 45s again. So as you can see, that's where 45's up over the axle. The axle is entirely at the top of its suspension travel, being on the jack stands. There's our exit. So what we'll have to do is go from A to B right here. Our plan is to weld that joint right there, clamp this joint where it connects here to a 45, weld here, and then a clamp here. That way this section can be removed if needed. And then the muffler is in its correct orientation here. And then we have a 45 that'll come right out of this into the nice exhaust tips, which Tristan will locate probably like right around here. And we might just weld in this section to it or clamp it. Definitely, I think the tips we'll want to weld on just so it doesn't fall off while driving, because that would kind of suck.
That would suck.
Yep, but we're getting there. The longest process I think of all this will be once it's done, fully welding everything, because the circumference of one of those 3-inch pipes is 9.4 inches. So
that's a lot.
If we have like already 1, 2, 3,
is it like 3 or 4?
Probably up to 6 maybe, I think it's gonna be. So 6 times 9.4.
That's almost 60 inches of welding. That is a lot of welding.
Hopefully I got enough argon over there.
Let's hope.
You can deal with some exhaust leaks.
Honestly, it's already got some.
Yep.
You know.
But yeah, guys, it's coming together. I can't wait to hear this thing.
Oh man, I can't either. Good. It's gonna be so beautiful to ride to work and not be just drowned out by that.
Only thing we have to be worried about is maybe it tapping on something, because that'd be more annoying to me than a like a droning exhaust.
I mean, I've experienced that with my Bonneville, which we found out was just like a bolt or something that's stuck in the cat.
Oh yeah, we need to fix that still. Damn.
Don't know how that happened, but it's been annoying me forever.
Or the cat fell apart.
That could be. Might as well just cut it off and straight pipe it.
We should. Well, guys, we have a lot of work ahead of us.
That's the next pipe that we have to cut, so we're about to do that.
We're gonna go ahead and get started on this. Hey guys, it's been a minute. We've been just chugging away at this. We kind of just wanted to get a bunch done. We're not gonna be able to finish today, so we're gonna pick back up tomorrow. But as you can see, I have the collector side, or the I guess the tip side all done. Got the custom hanger made under the car. Looks a lot better than it was before. It's a little droopy in here because we don't have the hanger on, but we got the custom over axle part done. You can see it goes right over, doesn't touch anything. Comes a little close to the panhard bar support, which we might need to do something about. Also, right behind that pipe comes kind of close to the floor pan. We might hammer that out a bit, but that's kind of for tomorrow. Oh, you're just getting the sway bar back on.
Might as well.
Nice. Yep. And we do have the option of putting the stock exhaust back on, but at this moment that would require us to take everything off and get the old one back on. Also, we need to reinstall an exhaust hanger, which we stole, so that kind of suck. So all these pipes have over 3 tacks on them each, and we're going to tighten the hell out of those clamps. So he's actually just going to drive home with the exhaust like this. Obviously it'll be exhaust leaks or whatever. And then tomorrow he's gonna bring it by and we're just gonna knock out welding up everything, put in a final back assembly, and we'll be done with that. But we're gonna get this thrown on, and I think we're gonna give you a little sound clip, and yeah, we'll be right back. All right guys, we got everything all set. You can see the exhaust tip peeking out there. We had an incident where this new M12 Milwaukee battery started smoking and then electrocuted me when I was using it, so that sucks.
Not good. And he panicked and threw it down.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Anyways, we got everything on here. We had an issue where this pipe was rotating at this, well, you're not going to see anything, clamp. So I just tacked it in so it doesn't rotate anymore. It's going to stay where it's at. So we're going to go ahead and fire it up just so we can hear it for the first time. Sounds like exhaust leaks. Ow!
It does sound like exhaust. It sounds like an angry bee's nest.
Yep.
Also, deeper than I thought it would be.
It's really deep.
It's very deep. Like it's almost just a tiny bit deeper than what it was, but a little quieter.
Sounds more like a V8 now. Yeah, the ticking is kind of concerning. We think it's an exhaust leak. It's right on the driver's side, but we just need to do some more diagnosing. Here, I'm gonna open that because it keeps hitting his head on it. All right, guys. Exhaust sounds way better. It sounds way deeper, way quieter. But we're having the issue. We're having the issue where we're hearing a ticking noise. Sounds like it's quieted down, maybe. I don't know. We're concerned it's an exhaust leak, but it could be something even more dire.
Well, you know what?
Definitely coming from this side.
Well, okay, what I'm about to say is not going to account for valve train, because then it would also make sense. But now that the car is warming up, the exhaust is getting, you know, less loud. That would make sense why the ticking is also getting less loud because of the exhaust. But also valve train would also quiet down probably. Ooh, that sounds good.
That's not fun.
Still sounds loud.
Go rev it, I don't hear it. That sounds really good. Not that loud either.
It sounds as, oh, you can't even see. It sounds like,
oh Jesus, there we go. Sorry guys, we're trying to fight the camera lighting.
It sounds like, it sounds really good. You know, like I thought how the exhaust was, depending on where it was, it sounded good. This sounds good, but also quieter, which is what I needed.
Some people think loud's good, and that's pretty much what the Camaro was before this. Like that's the only good part of it, of the sound, was the cam chopping.
Yep.
But now this sounds like, I mean, it sounds mean.
Yeah, it does sound mean. It honestly does sound a little bit deeper. I think the resonator is really helping there. Super excited about this, man. It sounds way better, especially once it quieted down and the exhaust leaks became less apparent. I wasn't sure about the exhaust tip because it just seems really big for what it is.
I like it though.
The 3.5 inch outlets, and honestly, I think it fits really good. I think that's exactly what.
We're also only seeing it from like 5 feet away.
True, too.
It might look cool, better, you know, like farther back. I mean, that sounds bad, but you know.
Right. But honestly, I think that's what Vince has, but he has duals.
Yes.
So I think, I mean, they fit his pretty decently.
Yep, they do, but look at that, guys. We built a exhaust today. It's not done yet. We need to weld up everything. But...
Dude, I've personally watched people fab up an entire exhaust in 2 hours, and dear God. I mean, they did have a lift.
We did it in, what time is it right now? It's 6 o'clock, and we started basically at 1, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, they did have all the tools and experience and a lift, but this shit is tough. Like, this ain't easy.
It was fine.
Because, well, then again, literally it's taken multiple days to put a completely already made exhaust on Vince's car, on Isaiah's car, on Austin's car. So we did this in 5 hours, and we made it ourselves and welded it. So that's actually pretty decent.
Absolutely. You know what, maybe I'm thinking about the possible exhaust leak that we have up there. Maybe we need to, like, I guess you already said it, you can't reach under the manifolds, but maybe something cracked under there. We should definitely still try tightening up the manifold bolts.
Yeah.
I mean, your wideband isn't reading any leaner than normal. I mean, that...
It is.
Oh, then it could be an exhaust leak, I don't know.
Like only at idle now, will it want to read in the 15s, where it wasn't before?
So, yeah, I'm going to buy one of those smoke testers, and we're just going to plug the exhaust, and we're going to check for exhaust leaks. I mean, we got plenty under it now, so.
Yeah, because that'll be perfect for vacuum systems, too. Like, I've tried to, like, I've wanted to buy one for the Bonneville, because it's vacuum. These 3800s are really susceptible to vac leaks, because any little vac leak will fuck this car up.
Yep.
it'll not run right. So, but that'll be perfect for the exhaust. We can see exactly where it's from.
Yep. Yeah,
But guys, it looks so good. We might have to add just a little bit like a hanger.
Another hanger right here.
So that doesn't do that. But this will definitely survive a trip home.
So single exhaust, very easy. If you guys are going to do this at home, super simple. I mean,
which honestly, you guys should if you're interested in doing one of these, if you also have a welder, because I think with clamps, the tubing, the tip, maybe 200 or 250 bucks.
Yeah, super cheap. I mean, you might need a welder, but I mean, you could theoretically clamp everything together.
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
Because that's what we wanted to do, and I think that you could do that, but we just ended up not doing that in a few places, just because it ended up being easier than trying to do the slip joints everywhere.
I was gonna say.
For example, there was a part where we had the slip joint come right over the axle, and that ended up not being able to work.
Cut it and then extend it and do all tons of
that was stupid
stuff.
That was freaking stupid. So that ended up not working. So yeah, but you guys could easily do this for under $300 yourself.
Yep.
And it's honestly pretty rewarding.
And if you spend a little bit more money, you can get stainless steel.
Honestly, because if I had just spent $50 more, I could have gotten all stainless steel, and that would have been nice. However, I mean,
so it's what it is.
It's honestly underneath the car, it's Frankenstein. So I'm not really looking to make the exhaust super pretty, but the tip, I'm glad that I got a pretty tip.
Looks good. 3-inch exhaust, all back, custom 3-inch turbo kit, done. Straight from the turbo all the way to the end. I guess it's dual 4.5 inches now, but straight 3-inch exhaust all the way through. Awesome.
Well, guys, we're gonna come back to you tomorrow when we're actually like ready to weld up the rest of the exhaust.
We're gonna get it lowered down, and Tristan's gotta drive home.
All right. Well, later, guys.
If you're liking what you're watching, go be sure to check out some of our other Project F videos. Definitely, if you want to support us, join us as a member down below. It seriously helps us out. We're looking to get a Holly for this thing, so yeah, any support you can give us would be great. Leave a like down below. We're gonna get back to work here.